clutch on an R1200C because it's not doing anything. If you have an R1200C with a lever that really doesn't have much resistance, the following should help you. You'll see how far over the R1200C leans on the side stand. Look at the clutch reservoir. It's at a pretty incredible angle. Add to that, turning the bars to the left, it's at even more of an angle. Somebody comes along and squeezes that lever a couple times, it ingests air, and then the clutch doesn't work. One of the difficulties in bleeding this system is getting the clutch reservoir level. See, we're getting close. The bike is reaching beyond its tipping point. Get a friend to help you, or get some mats, something with some high density foam that you can lay on the ground, put the bike on and suggest taking your saddlebag off so it doesn't break. You're going to need a number 2 Phillips screwdriver, and I suggest valve grinding compound. Stuff is gritty. Put a little bit on the end of the driver before inserting into the head of the Phillips screw. Might save you the aggravation of having to drill one or all of these screws out. Remove the lid. Do not place anything in here like a flat blade screwdriver to pry this off. You are most likely going to chip the reservoir and it will leak. Remember, brake fluid will attack paint, so keep it away. And we look in here and see we're not quite level, and if we were, our level would be at the middle of the window, which is where it should be. Because remember, clutch fluid rises as the clutch disc wears. It has to have room for the fluid to go. So our first thing we want to look at is, do we have fluid here, and what color is it? This is clear. If it were gray, that would indicate that the slave cylinder bearing has failed. Little traces of gray metal flakes. If the fluid is brown, it indicates the bearing has failed and the entire piston is spinning in the slave cylinder. In this case, we don't have that problem. I think we just have ingested quite a bit of air because of the angle. Of this reservoir when the bike's on the side stand. Playing with this, wondering why I'm not getting any air. See here, we just get fluid. Again, the hole in the master is here, lower than here. We have air right there. My lovely assistant will hold that. As I force the bike over, I'm going to bring that up here. We're going to look inside the reservoir as I lightly touch the lever. No air. And I'm beginning to get a lever here. see the angle I've had to put this in to get the master for the clutch level. Now we'll look inside, trying to get this hole to the highest point in the system. I'm going to tip this a little bit farther. And now, if I gently squeeze the lever, you have to be careful, fluid's going to spray. I suggest covering your tank with something, your riding jacket if you have to, something. You don't want to, unless your paint's shitty. Look at all that air. Oh, nice lever. I now have a clutch lever again. Still getting a little bit of air. You want to do this until you have real authority in that lever, and it's got something to it, not the spongy bag of crap it was earlier. I suggest on these running them the fluid level a little bit high and checking this often. You're going to have to take fluid out of these at almost every oil change possibly, if you run them at the upper level. I'd hate to see someone damage their clutch by running the fluid level too high. So hence this video, to show you what to do if you run it too low and you ingest air. So if you find your clutch lever isn't doing anything, do what I showed you, lean the bike over, just bleed it up from here. You don't even have to fuck with the bleed screw. You want a good lever that works like that.